DSH and Chouval before the hospital. And
So
the health
DSH,
sector.
that's one project that I had my difficulty with from day one.
Yeah.
From day one. Moi-même te kwe, nou te ka ale rong chime api sa. Pis isam, nou te ka mette tout zi nou an yon pranye. So, I said to the Prime Minister when this happened, in fact, we made a presentation to Cabinet, you tout vini, you fait une présentation, moun sorti St. Lucia Board, Tourism Board, Invest St. Lucia, you tout vini. Et une présentation te faite, avec, après ça fait fini, moi te ni pour aller à Souchimé avec moi dit Premier Ministre, moi j'ai quitté, puis moi te dit, moi te quitté avant, puis moi te ni un programme qui était ni pour veiller chimé en simple ici. Il m'a dit, moi, est-ce que une pièce bail pour dire? Moi, dit, nous qu'à parler. Puis moi-même, tu quoi? Présentation, il fait. C'était une présentation qui tenait cabinet avec tout le monde. Après ça, cabinet là, tenu pour joindre, faire un meeting pour discuter qui ça, il présenté. Le moi, regardé un soir, monsieur Cassier,
Document.
Okay, the point I'm making is that when you come to cabinet with those proposals, we meet, we discuss. In this case, you had the Board of Tourism, Invest St. Lucia, and a host of other entities, including Chamber of Commerce. Presentation made, the cabinet had not sat to discuss among itself the implications of this project. Okay, what are the benefits? It was signed. Today you had one proposal, you say phase one, the next day you have another proposal. If the public objects, then you see changes in it. One time you've got a causeway going to, is it Maria Island?
Maria Island.
Next time the public objects, then there's no causeway. And a lot of misinformation. Pearl of the Caribbean, I mean 28 islands to be developed, etc., etc. So St. Lucia, I guess, eventually would be St. Lucia and the pearls of the Caribbean, you know. So my thing was that, wait, what is really going on here? So at one point, when it was suggested that we're going to sign a second phase or package 2, I said, I'm not attending. I said, I'm not going to participate in this because I believe we need to be more focused on the whole development of VFO. Because what was being presented to us was really the Dubai of the Caribbean with high-rise buildings and all sorts of things. This wasn't anybody coming with their own money. It was somebody coming with just a dream to do something. And what they were looking for was really to give them the land, then they'll go out and speculate our land and to get investors to come in and build properties for their own financial gain. That's what was going on. So I refused to attend. The Prime Minister called and I said, no, I'm not attending and whatnot. I don't support the whole thing. And he said, well, you have never supported it. I said, not that I don't support development. What I don't support is the manner in which development is being undertaken. And I remember on that occasion I said to him, let us make good the promise to the people in the South. The promise to the people in the South is housing and economic development that is conducive to the south of the country. So I said, too many administrations have gone after poor people who have built little homes because governments have not been able to keep up with housing demand. They have gone and built homes on Invest lands, NDC, National Development Corporation lands, now Invest St. Lucia. And administration after administration have gone ahead and demolished those homes. I said, let us go and make available to the people of the South housing lands at concessionary rates so that they can build their homes. We can go for the development with those people. But to just farm out all the land to one developer who has no money whatsoever, okay, I didn't support the idea. And then you had the issue of the racetrack. The racetrack, which really was what the developer had intentions of doing in the first place. But he found an opportunity to be able to grab at land, and he exploited it. The racetrack first was designed not in the orientation that it is now. But then the developer decided that the orientation should be changed, which would mean that the racetrack would run across the existing Larry Susa Road. The Prime Minister came and the investor, and he said the road needs to be moved. So the road needed to be moved and the investor would pay for it. But the investor has not paid for the road. The road costs over $13 million. Over $13 million. And it is on the books of the country as a debt that we have to pay and we are paying for. So we move one road to facilitate one man to set up a racetrack which has not to date brought any economic activity of significance to the country. Now one may tell me, well, there's a lot of activity happening in Viewfort, this is happening, the airport is happening, etc., etc. Excellent. But the point I'm making is, what is the net value of the racetrack in Viewfort? The gift that was given to us, the abattoir, the meat processing plant, again, that was trivialized in the presentation made by Mr. Tiwakin in the development, when he said, hey, we will knock down the meat processing plant and we'll build a temporary facility. But how can you tell me, you come to my home, you see a golden cup on my shelf, and you say to me, take this golden cup out, and here's a brass cup, and believe that unappreciated. You cannot do that. To date, the gentleman has...
He did.
Well, he did.
So how did he do it?
He did, you know. But to date, he has not settled the government for the meat processing plant. And the government itself has not clearly indicated what it's going to do. Of course, they moved farmers from the site, from Beauséjour to On Dsh, in that area, thereabout. But the thing about it is, we have allowed individuals to come into our country and dictate and direct the path and pace of development of our country, leaving our people behind.